achievements and talking about some of the exciting initiatives that are currently underway at our institution. At the conclusion of my remarks, we'll have time for a few audience questions, and we'll get to as many as possible. Then I hope you'll stay for our reception and enjoy some refreshments. But first, I'd like to acknowledge the land that we are on and the Native peoples who have stewarded this land. We are gathered on the land of the Yakima, Palouse, Piscuyas, Wenatchipum, Quahipum, Klingquit, Kawasai, Liwas, Sking, Wushkam, Shiites, Chishush, Kamil Shapa, and Siapkat, who today are represented by the Confederated Tribes and Bands of the Yakima Nation, and whose relationship with this land continues to this day. We offer gratitude for the land itself, for those who have cared for it for generations, and for the opportunity to study, learn, work, and be in community on this land. So barely a month ago, we celebrated the start of a new academic year, and there is much to celebrate. Over the past 3 years, our enrollment has steadily climbed. And this fall, we were very honored to have welcomed our largest incoming class of new students in more than a decade, right? While we are proud that these 1,895 new Yaks chose our institution as the place to pursue their educational and career goals, more importantly, this is wonderful news for our community as a whole. The Yakima Valley's future as an economically strong, culturally vibrant place that attracts people who want to live here depends on us having a well-educated population. Overall, our fall enrollment of 4,930 students is 7.7% higher than fall of 2024, and the highest it's been since fall of 2019. That enrollment includes 1,003 running start students, an all-time record for our college, and almost double the number of running start students at YVC just a decade ago. Very impressive. But it isn't enrollment numbers alone by which we gauge our success. In a recent survey of YVC students by Ruffwell Knoll Levitz, 85% of our students said they were satisfied with their overall experience at YVC. And 91% reported that if they were making their decision again, they would re-enroll at YVC. In another recent survey conducted by our own Office of Institutional Effectiveness, 98% of our students reported their instructors treated them with respect, and 95% said their instructors created an environment which students were encouraged to actively participate in class discussions and projects. Seeing such overwhelming majorities of students report positively on their experience at Yakima Valley College speaks volumes about the excellence of our faculty and our staff and their dedication to student success. So please join me in thanking all of these individuals for their hard work. Thank you. Here at YVC, we take seriously our role as a cornerstone of post-secondary educational opportunity in our region. 3/4 of our students are first-generation college students, while 2/3 are from low-income households. From Running Start students who earn an associate's degree before leaving high school, to individuals starting their college experience here before transferring, to working adults returning to school to advance their career or prepare for an entirely new career. Yakima Valley College is here to serve everyone. And in serving our students, we are opening the door to economic mobility to people throughout our service district. Fulfilling our mission isn't something we do alone. The community partnerships that we have forged and continue to build are essential to our work. Yakima Valley College's partnerships with the educational sector span pre-K providers to K-12 schools to four-year institutions and beyond. We work closely with medical providers to prepare the next generation of outstanding healthcare professionals. And our strong relationships with businesses, government agencies, and non-governmental organizations are critical to building a strong workforce for our region. Just one of many examples of how our partnerships are strengthening educational systems for the Yakima Valley is our collaboration with Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences. In the last year, we signed a series of articulation agreements with PNWU that make it easier for students in Central Washington to pursue careers in critical healthcare professions. These agreements provide clear pathways for students to start their education at YVC and then move on to PNWU's programs in osteopathic medicine, physical therapy, occupational therapy, medical sciences, and dental medicine. And in the inaugural cohort of PNWU's Doctor of Dental Medicine program, who started their studies in July, we are proud to have 5 Yakima Valley College alumni represented in that program. These alumni include students like Christian Mendoza. Christian grew up in Mabton, where he was raised by his mother, who was forced to drop out of school to provide for her sons. When Christian learned at age 16 that he was going to be a father himself, it lit a fire inside of him. He earned all A's his junior and senior years of high school, then earned his bachelor's degree in dental hygiene here at Yakima Valley College. Thanks to the rigorous education he received at YVC, Christian was well prepared to continue in PNWU's program, which is focused on preparing excellent dentists to practice in rural and underserved communities like the Yakima Valley. As Christian shared in the latest edition of YVC Voice magazine, Mabton is where I called home for all my childhood, and this town means the world to me. My mother raised me to always remember where we come from, and I have always done my best to give back to the place I love. It's a result of partnerships such as our collaboration with PNWU that we are able to create more opportunities for our students like Christian. I know that our students, alumni, faculty, and staff share Christian's sentiment. The Yakima Valley and all the communities within Yakima, Kittitas, and Klickitat counties mean the world to us. And so we are driven to not only help students, but build better lives for themselves and their families, but also to create a stronger Yakima Valley. In the years to come, these kinds of partnerships between educational institutions will become even more important to our region's ability to thrive. Today, 70% of job openings in Washington require post-secondary education, according to the Georgetown Center on Education and Workforce, a number that will only go higher in the future. Yet, in Yakima County, only 45% of residents age 25 or older have attained an education beyond high school. Yakima Valley College has a responsibility to close that gap. One such initiative that aims to do that is our partnership with Yakima School District and Central Washington University to develop integrated, seamless, and guaranteed pathways for high school students to earn post-secondary credentials. Our institutions launched this work last year and have had many fruitful conversations. This includes defining coursework completed through Running Start and college in the high school to be shared with Yakima School District students. Ensuring students who complete general education program at YVC or CWU will not have to complete the same program over at one of the other institutions. Creating clear pathways for students interested in specific degrees at YVC so they can complete coursework in either Running Start or college in the high school. Ultimately, this work will help more YSD students complete a post-secondary degree that is affordable, convenient, and high quality. And it can be a model, this can be a model, for creating similar pathways with other schools in the districts we serve. Another example of the power of collaboration is our work with Yakima Valley Partners in Education and People for People to address transportation challenges in the lower Yakima Valley. Working together, we were able to add a bus stop at our Grandview campus this September on the People for People bus route connecting Mabton, Sunnyside, and Grandview. Residents of those communities interested in pursuing higher education but lacking transportation can now ride People for People's Route 201 at no cost and access the classes and services at YVC's Grandview campus. Yet another major initiative taking place at Yakima Valley College this year is re-envisioning our workforce education division and our workforce education efforts. Our region is inextricably connected to the rest of the world. From rapid technological changes such as artificial intelligence to demographic trends like an aging population. Our college must be nimble in responding to the challenges and opportunities that these changes pose. As such, we are in the process of restructuring our workforce education division, guided by a handful of key principles. First, create greater capacity for YVC's workforce education leaders to exercise active and meaningful engagement in economic development initiatives within our service district. Second, streamline the reporting structure for our workforce education programs, increasing our efficiency and long-term financial stability. And finally, to recognize some of the unique workloads within workforce education. For example, our dental clinic treats patients and bills for services while our veterinary program performs surgeries on live animals. YVC is grateful to have Dr. Skye Field leading this work as our new Associate Vice President of Workforce and Economic Development. And we are currently in the process of filling additional leadership positions within the new workforce education structure. These changes will build on YVC's history of innovation in workforce education, connecting students to the hands-on training, critical thinking, and technical knowledge needed to be successful in our ever-evolving workforce. We are very excited for the new growth opportunities ahead. We look forward to engaging more deeply with our community, businesses, and other stakeholders in conversations about our shared future. We must prepare people for the jobs that will be needed here, not only today, but in the decades to come. When we do this, we will help ensure our region is a place that offers more economic opportunity with communities that are diverse, vibrant, and thriving. While there is much to be excited about with the work happening here at YVC, there are challenges that confront institutions of higher education across the state and across the nation. While our college has received federal funding to continue our 2 TRIO programs, Upward Bound and Student Support Services, this academic year, the U.S. Department of Education discontinued funding for college assistant migrant programs across the country, including ours. Title V funding for Hispanic-serving institutions like YVC is also under threat. With additional funding for our Relevance Project grant canceled, this lost funding is disappointing for many reasons. Most importantly, that we know they have been successful in strengthening a sense of belonging among students, which makes a material difference in their likelihood of successfully completing college. We also face headwinds here in Washington State. While Governor Ferguson stands as a strong supporter of community colleges, state revenue forecasts are challenging, and the state's community and technical college system lost funding in the 2025-2027 state budget that was passed and signed into law last spring, even as our operating costs increase. Moving forward, our state legislators will be facing some difficult decisions when they return to work in Olympia this January. However, we have already begun adapting to the challenging landscape. One such effort is our participation in the Complete College Accelerator national initiative to improve student success and close gaps in college access and completion. Being in the inaugural cohort of this initiative has given us access to the expertise of CCA staff and a nationwide network of 18 state partners and 100 colleges and universities. Faculty and staff across the college are building on our existing data and strategies to identify and implement research-based practices designed to significantly increase college completion on our campuses, particularly for students from historically underrepresented populations. We are accelerating our work on a college-wide advising framework grounded in best practices, proactive outreach, and culturally responsive support. At the same time, we are leveraging the knowledge gained from camp, the Relevance Project, and other programs to expand and coordinate holistic student services, including tutoring, career exploration, and financial literacy. In the face of some of these fiscal uncertainties, we continue to seek fresh funding opportunities, whether federal, state, or from other sources, to position Yakima Valley College competitively. And finally, we are continuing to strongly advocate for YVC. Last month, I traveled to Washington, D.C. to meet with legislators and their staff, along with the Department of Education officials. During these meetings, I emphasized the essential role of community colleges like YVC in providing students with socioeconomic opportunity and mobility. Indeed, at a moment where there is much negative talk about affordability and whether college pays, I strongly believe that community colleges pay. I strongly believe that we are an essential part of the solution. For those looking to start their college journey, here, before transferring to a four-year institution, YVC can help students save potentially tens of thousands of dollars. Yakima Valley College also provides affordable pathways directly into numerous short-term certificates, well-paying careers, and 5 Bachelors of Applied Science programs. And I'd like to take a moment to talk about YVC's bachelor's programs, in particular, their importance for our students, many of whom also hold jobs and are raising families. Recent work from researchers at the University of Washington's Evans School of Public Policy and Governance shows that the earnings of individuals who complete their baccalaureate degree at a community college compare favorably with those who graduate from similar programs at four-year institutions. Here at Yakima Valley College, that includes alumni like Diana Rodriguez, a single mother and first-generation college student who earned her Bachelor's of Applied Science in Information Technology and now works as an IT support technician for Sentinet Systems in Yakima. Thanks to the opportunity to earn an affordable bachelor's degree close to home, Diana is working in a career she loves and recently became the first member of her family to buy a home. Meanwhile, alumni of our Bachelor's of Applied Science and Business Management program have started their own businesses, creating new jobs here in the Yakima Valley. Norma Garcia, a mother of 3, is one of those YVC graduates. The flexibility of YVC's program made it possible for Norma to pursue further education and gain the knowledge she needed to launch Yakima Valley Business and Mail Center in Toppenish earlier this year. Norma saw a gap in the services people had access to, especially for the Spanish-speaking community. And she saw an opportunity to make her dream of opening her own business a reality. After just 6 months in business, she has steadily added new services based on customer demand, showing what is possible when we make education accessible to community members with dreams of making a positive impact in the world. And our bachelor's degree programs are yet another example of how we are partnering with other educational institutions in our community to expand opportunity. YVC and Perry Technical Institute recently created a streamlined path for students who complete Perry Tech's Business Technology and Accounting Associate of Applied Science degree program to enter our Bachelor's of Applied Science program in Business Management. Employers in the Yakima Valley have a need for managers who are the problem solvers and leaders that their organizations need to grow and thrive. We are pleased that our 2 institutions can partner to help meet this need and make it possible for more students to reach their goals in pursuit of their dream career. As I bring my remarks this afternoon to a conclusion, I'd like to leave you with this message. As educators and leaders in our community, we need to look past our egos and personal interests. Our focus must be on what each student needs to dream bigger and go further as they become the change makers, innovators, and community leaders of tomorrow. This means listening to our students, understanding their individual challenges and gifts, and supporting their journey. Throughout our region, higher education and our businesses and nonprofit sectors will make a difference. This will ensure every student has access to an educational opportunity. Within our institution, that means bringing an attitude of servingness to our work every day. As you can tell from my earlier remarks, we have already made significant progress towards this goal. Yet, there remains much work to be done. I am confident that our collective creativity and commitment to our work will allow us to navigate the uncertainty of the present moment and to create a brighter future for everyone in the Yakima Valley. Thank you for joining Yakima Valley College as we continue to pursue this work, and thank you for being here.
All right. We have received several questions for the president, and if folks have questions that they would like to submit, you can use the QR code on the program that you got as you entered, and we'll get to as many as we can in the next few minutes here. So first off, how is the college approaching financial sustainability in a way that still lets us grow, innovate, and serve students well?
Okay, so that's an excellent question, because in the times that we're in, we should never lose sight of the need to be financially sustainable. So a couple of things. YVC, we've spent many, many years building a platform for financial sustainability. We have healthy reserves, but they won't last forever if we don't keep our eye on the work that we're doing. So currently at YVC, while it wasn't in my speech, we're working on a new budget model, a very transparent model that the campus community will have input into. Our resources will be available for everyone to see so that they understand the decisions we're making are based on actual numbers. Okay, and then the other thing we're doing when we think about financial stability moving forward, it is the development of alternative sources of revenue that we've never had before. Times are changing, higher ed is changing, and there is this new landscape that is allowing us in higher ed to think differently about revenue streams. And one of the things that we have to keep an eye on is sometimes you have to spend money to make money. You have to explore the things you don't know, but you have to do it strategically. And here at YVC, we have a wonderful foundation of strong subject matter experts, leadership in the executive leadership team that is keeping an eye on that and recognizing if we lose something here, but it's a valuable tool for our students, we're going to figure out how to find the funding somewhere else and how to continue to keep revenue streams coming in.
That was great.
Feedback.
Next up, how is the government shutdown impacting YVC students, and in what ways can the community advocate for those whose attendance may depend on federal funding? And maybe this isn't the question, but maybe mentioning some of the services that we offer to students that can support them.
Yeah, so great question, because a portion of our funding is federal funding. but we still have access to the funds. So the government shutdown hasn't impacted our funding sources as of yet. But it's something that we have to continue to keep an eye on. I think in the broader community is where, if I were to make a presumption, that our students who are possibly depending on other resources, SNAP, Medicaid, Medicare, those are the things that we have to be making sure that we're letting our students know if they're having a struggle, we have resources. We have food banks. We have a wonderful counseling center that can direct students to resources that they need, because one of the other things to think about is they may be losing some monetary resources, but there are a lot of mental health challenges around the fear of what they don't know. And so we've really started paying close attention to those things.
All right. What plans do you have in the coming year to improve employee satisfaction, engagement, and retention?
Oh, that's excellent. So can I say I have a great team? One of the things that and we started last year, focusing on this sense of community and belonging, because when you work at a place, they're like family, because, oh my gosh, you're here 8 to 10 hours a day, and you are around the same people all the time. And so we have really been intentional with providing opportunity to gather, to come together around food, around, fun, and things like that. And then when you think about it, I think a couple of other things we're looking at, and part of it, I'll talk about some of the reorgs that we've done on campus, because we have been an institution for a very long time that did more with less. And when we lost an employee, we just gave that task to another employee. And over time, our employees start losing capacity. And you may not say that you can't handle it anymore because you believe in what you do. And it's up to us to recognize that. And so what we've started doing is reorganizing some of our divisions to gain the capacity and take some of the overwhelming weight off of employees. So I think that's probably a really big one that we've been doing, and we continue to do it. And then the other thing that we're going to be looking at moving forward is wages for employees, because when the state has limited ways you can get raises and you'll get a COLA, but it's really hard when you're in higher ed. And everybody says, oh, it's about the mission. It is about the mission, but you also have to feed your family, right? And so we're going to be looking at, in the future, once we get our new budget process in place, a salary study, and a comprehensive salary study based on our service district.
How do you maintain the college's commitment to student success through diversity, equity, and inclusion, given the current national landscape and challenges?
Another great question. So I like to say we have to be true to the students we serve. And it doesn't, the climate at the national level, it ebbs and flows, right? The one thing that I have to tell our team, our college, is we have to stay true to our mission and serve the students that we serve and continue to serve them the way we know they need to be served. And so that is the one thing, no matter what happens, whatever outside influences there are, we have to continue to stay true to our mission. So.
All right, next up, is YVC interested in a relationship with Union Gap School District? Although it is a K-8 district, we would love to partner and expose our students to higher education before they enter high school. And there's some contact information for the superintendent provided as well.
That's excellent. So I want to say, so that is also, when everything we're talking about, it's all about partnerships, because we do what we do, but we need input from everybody, right? Because we see things through our lens, but we need to understand from other lenses because I can assume what I think you need, but you really need to tell me what you need, right? And then we as a college need to figure out how we can serve you. So I think that is probably one of our priorities as well, is how do we partner with everybody, right? But how do we also make sure that the partnerships are intentional and that we're doing what we need to do? And we've recognized over this last year that we have such a wonderful opportunity because we haven't done a lot of that in the past. And everybody is just so open to hearing from YVC that it's going to make our jobs very easy to continue to partner.
So this next question is following up on some of your remarks about financial mobility. And can you please speak to the role of our College and Career Readiness Division and its programming to support our students accomplishing their academic and career goals and attaining financial mobility?
Sure. So one of the things that I love about our college and our different divisions, and our College and Career Readiness Division as well, is students come to us with what they think their idea is, right? I just want to get my GED, or I just want to learn the English language, or I just want. And we have amazing faculty and staff that take that student who just wants this one thing and kind of opens their mind to the possibility of something else, right? Because as students who are first generation, who have not been to college, they don't know what they don't know. And so they will be very limited in what they're thinking. And when they come to college, which is a huge step, and they have a faculty or a staff member that says, oh my gosh, you're doing that, wonderful. I have a student over here that could use a little help. Would you mind showing them what you're doing? It builds their confidence, because not only do they know what they're doing, now they can help somebody else, right? And they can become the learner teacher. And that's where we can continue to grow our students and broaden their horizons, I like to say, because they don't know where the end is if we don't tell them, right? So they will just keep going, keep trying, keep learning. And we had one student come to one of our Board of Trustees meetings who started in CCR and is now graduating with her bachelor's in IT, right? Because she had a faculty member that told her she was smart, she could do it, and then she believed it herself. So CCR is a great open door to start that.
Next question. You have a great vision for supporting and lifting students and the region toward a strong future. What is needed from community, industry, and education partners to further advance this vision?
So we have our vision, but it's going to be about them sharing their vision, because it has to be a joint vision. Because we have to have guidance on what's happening in industry, what's happening in business. And when we're working with our partners in having those discussions, then it helps inform what we need to be doing for the next generation.
Next question, I'm going to summarize this a little bit. Public schools are feeling the effect of a challenging landscape with the current administration, including loss of funds and capacity. And that pinch is felt especially strong in public schools who receive federal impact funds, including Toppenish, Granger, Mount Adams, and Wapto. So what kind of commitment can YVC make to these 4 Impact 8 school districts to support and expand college and the high school and running START programs?
Yeah, I'm going to say first it starts with having a conversation with our Yakima Nation partners and learning, and I will confess, when I was in DC, I had a great opportunity with Dr. Elise Washines to learn about Impact 8 because it was new to me. And when I learned about how impact aid operates, the first thing in my mind was, oh, and how can we help? Because sometimes it's not always equitable, right? And so what can we be doing to help the school districts that need that support? I don't know yet, but we are committed to working with our nation partners and our school district partners to figure out what can YVC be doing. Because I do want to say, and this is kind of, I've been in business for a business background for a long time. And the one thing that I always say is, first you identify the issue, not the money. Don't identify the money. Figure out the issue and then find how to get the money to support it. So that's what you have to do, right? Because, you know, it's kind of like the Field of Dreams thing. Build it, they will come, right? Show me a problem and then we'll figure out how to solve it. Because when you identify the problem, there are a lot of other resources that we may not know about, but we will know somebody who we've talked to, who has introduced us to somebody that will show us where the resources are. And it's really interesting. And I'm going back to those relationships, that when you talk to people, it's amazing what you can identify that can help you along the way. So the commitment is, YVC is always committed to the educational attainment in this valley, whatever that looks like wherever it is.
All right, we're getting close to the end of our question and answer. We have time for one more question. But before that, I just want to mention we have a reception afterwards. There is some delicious looking dessert and beverages back there, so I hope folks will stick around and enjoy that. And President Rich will be here, so I know we weren't able to get to all of the questions. So if we didn't get to yours, please come up, and President Rich will be here as long as other folks on our administrative team. So if you didn't get your question answered, there's still opportunity for that. But this last question, I'm going to combine a couple that are asking about food services on campus and potential opportunities to add to food services that are available for the campus community.
So first, I like to say, for those of you that don't know, we own Taco Bell. So that is my tongue-in-cheek. We have food service on campus. It's Taco Bell. But no, so that's something that as we move forward, so there's always a call for new things on campus, no matter what they are. But as we look at new things that people are requesting, we have to know the data. We have to see what the community wants, what the community can support, and will it be successful? And I hate, and because I am not a person that will reside in the past, I'm always looking to the future. So we did this, and we had food service for 14 years, and of that 14 years, they were only profitable 1 year, and it was only by $400. And so it's hard for us because we don't have students on campus, you know, for 12 to 15 hours a day. And so what we need to do is let's look at the data. Times have changed. Maybe we can support food service now, but let's look at the data and see what it says. Do some surveys, talk to students, talk to staff, and then see what we determine based on the data.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you all for attending, and to all our folks who joined to the live stream.
Yay! Our very first. Thank you, Dustin.